Hello everyone. Today we are going to create that React Native application using the React Native CLI. As you see, we're gonna having a header where we're gonna have a logo and also the icon for our card icon, and then we're gonna having a little bit text over here, and then the product section. Now all over that product is coming from the backend API, which we're gonna fetch it from here from the JSON data. We're gonna use that API to get all over the product data we are viewing over here. And after having that, we're gonna also having in a footer in the bottom and other things. In our today's build is for the beginning level to let you understand how you can start up with the React Native and the designing pattern, how you can create that beautiful design. And for the design, we're gonna use that Nativewind to use that Tailwind CSS in our application. And also you can see the setting up. It's very easy. I'm going to tell you how I did by myself, and it will be easy for you to follow through. So we're going to create that entire builds in our today's video. So let's go. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close off my previous applications from the terminal. So let's go and close the editor, and also I'm going to close my simulator, the Android simulator. And first of all, let's go to my folder over here. I want to open it inside a terminal, and then I need to run that command npx, and it will be React Native, and I want to use the latest one in it. Now I want to put that. Let's put the shoppers, our project name. It will be SHO shoppers. So now what it's gonna do, it's gonna go and install all the dependencies, required dependencies for the React Native application. First of all, I'm using that Windows application and Android simulator. So I'm gonna go with that React Native command line with Windows and Android. If you want to know about the macOS and Linux, just put in the comments below about that. I'm gonna put the video in our next video to having those two in configured. So now what you need to do, you need to install the dependencies. First of all, you need to install that node and JDK. For the node, you need to just go to that. Okay, by the way, I will just show you how you can do it in the command line because it's written in the command line. First of all, I will just open my PowerShell. Or just, I think I open terminal for it. Yeah, that PowerShell terminal. So now, as you see, you need to just run that code over here, Choco install. It will install the Node.js, the long-term version, and also long-term support one, and also the Microsoft Open JDK for the Java application. If you just copy and paste it, it's gonna start working. If you don't have the Choco, it will also give you asking the permission to install the Choco. So it's very simple. Now, if I just put that Java, it will be version. As you see, my Java is there available, and also the Node version, it's available because I already installed that one, so it's inside there. So after having that to install, you need to also put in that Android development environment. So what you need to do, you need to go over there in the Android Studio, and then you need to install that one. And also after installing that exe file or other for it will automatically regenerate your system which you're using and download the required that one. Just install and it will be just fine. And just remember, once you're installing, you need to click that through that you need to that Android SDK will be there, platform and Android virtual device will be there. It's very simple procedure. You will find it's very easy to set up. And having that, just create a new project, and then in the simulator, you need to actually choose that Android 13 Tremershui. So that's the one it will work actually. If I open my Android Studio over here just to show what is actually required for to running your application. Okay, just open. Just open my application, and yeah. So now, as you see, you will find that icon, that is the device manager. As you see, I already have one device, and I can actually wipe a little bit the data from here. And to whenever you are adding a new device, as you see, I believe it will be okay. So now once you having the device, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete the device from here. Let's delete. So now let's create a virtual device, and now I'm gonna having that Pixel Pro 6. Let's go next. And now I have installed the Trebuchet, so you need to choose that one. These things you need to choose, otherwise your app will not run. If you put SR or some other things, blah blah blah, it will not work. So I already installed. For you it will take a little bit longer to install. And also, if you are not familiar, because I already having that in my devices, what you need to do, you need to go to setting, and you just go in that I think let me find out over here, the system settings. Open the system settings, and then the Android SDK. So you need to have that Android SDK, the 13. That is the term machine. You need to have that one. And also from that SDK tools, you need to choose that like if anything you choose, you can choose from here and you can download. So you need to download and that SDK build tools 34, like Android SDK build tools, and also the Android simulator, and that Android SDK platform tools. And I think it will be pretty much enough for that. And as you see, Google API, the other things, just choose the way it has been written. So after you do that, it will be just fine for you to run your application. And there is another things you need to be remember, configure the Android home environment variable. And to do that, what you need to do, you need to just go to setting. I'm using that Windows 11. It will be the same with Windows 10 also. So now what I want to do, I'm going to go that edit the environment system variable. And so let's go and go in the variable. So over here, as you see, I already have that Android home. It's clearly written over here where it will the file lying down. You see, it will be the in the C drive users, the name will be different, the username you have, then the app, then the same procedure it will follow through. So as you see, it's already over here, and my name over there, and app data in SDK. If I just copy that and paste over here, I'm gonna see my simulator, emulator platform, and platform tools. Everything is available over here. So that's the things you need to add. You just need to go and put a new one. You need to put that Android home, all the letter in capital, no space. It will be the underscore, and that the pathway you need to put. You can browse the pathway, or you can just paste the one I have been showing you. So that's the simplest configuration you can do. And after that, also that platform tools, it will just go take through by default. Don't worry about it. And then you need to run that command in your terminal just to be ensured that React Native CLI never been even installed. It will just be uninstalled from there. And then you need to run that command to run create your application, and pretty much that's it. So then later on, you need to just start with it. So let's go. And as you see, we are having that shoppers ready. So let's see lscd shoppers. So now I want to run it in my editor and VS Code. So first of all, let's open the terminal, and I love to use the git bash over here. So now remember, that is the point, is the index.js. That's the point where your application get been registered. And this is your entry point in your app.tsx. We are using the TypeScript over here. So pretty much everything it will run from here. So let's spin our application. It will be npx react native start. And after running that command, it will give you an option in which devices it will run actually. And as you see, reload, for reloading, click the R, D for developer menu, I for iOS. I want to use in, it will not be here, it will be here. I want to run it in Android. So now what it's gonna do, it's gonna go and spin that application in my Android devices. Okay, so launching the emulator. So now you can see the application is already installed in the simulator. Now everything is happening over like available over here in that app.tsx. Let's go and put a smaller size for over here. As you see, we're having that the text and other design which is coming from the default one, we're gonna see it over there. So now this is the default application which we install, like create from the React Native. Now what I want to do in the save area view, because I want to clean up our applications, so I'm gonna cut it all, put the save area view again, and this view is like a div in our website, like web application which you're using, and the text is actually a p tag. There is no h1 or other tag, it's only the p tag which will be in the text. So let's put the hello world. As you see, after happening that, in the corner hello world is available. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just remove every other things which is not required for that, especially that section side and the type props, not requiring that. Okay, and the color schema and the other things also not require, and I'm gonna remove these two. And I'm not gonna use that style text, so let's go and put some text from the lorem. Just put the, it will be lorem 20. Just put some text so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm gonna remove that style things from here, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use that Nativewind. So first of all, what you need to do, I need to install that one. I'm using the yarn. If you are using the npm, you just put that npm install Nativewind. So it's yarn add Nativewind. And whenever you are doing that, please check always the package.json, is that installed or not, because you need to be very careful once you are working with React Native application. It will throw some unnecessary error and you will just freak out from where it's coming actually. So React Native is installed, and now we need to also install the dev dependencies for Tailwind CSS. And after installing that, the same setup, we need to also create one Tailwind config file, which we need to do it to create the configuration by which it's gonna go and run through inside our application. Okay. And in the Tailwind config, you see the inside the content, we need to change the content. We need to add this line inside our content. As you see the Tailwind config available over here, just put it and save. And I will remove this screen because everything, it will be inside my source folder. As you see, I have a source folder which I have created right now. And now over here, it will be my components will be available over here. And also I'm gonna put my screens. So I'm gonna modify it later on. So you're gonna keep everything coming over here. So pretty much everything that, no, I need to also implement that Babel plugin. Okay, so let's go and save. Now we are ready to use that Nativewind in our application. So let's go in the text, put some class name, and it will be text LG, and the text, let's put it red 600. And you see there is one error is coming from the class name. And to avoid that error, which we need to do, just put in the, go in the TypeScript, because we're using the TypeScript. And we need to add this line in our app.d.ts. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to create an app because I already have one app. It can be collapsed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the type.d.ts. I'm gonna just save it. And after saving it, as you see, the error is gone and we are ready to go. But also I'm gonna make one more thing just to see font medium. But the Tailwind CSS is still not picking out. And to let Tailwind CSS work, you can do one thing. You just close the terminal, which state you are running. You just close the emulator, and now run your application again to let it work, and it will be start just fine. Okay, oops, it's not here. It will be here and red. So once the app will be like installed, I believe we will see the Tailwind pick up this role. And now we see our app is running, but still Tailwind is not working. So let's put another line, which will be the underline. Still, the Tailwind is not picking up. Let's rerun that our application. You just need to have patience to just go and reswitch that one to let it work. As you see, now it's working. So now our Tailwind CSS is just in the line. So I'm going to remove that one. So what I'm going to do in the components folder, I'm going to create our header first. So it will be header.tsx and rnfe, the React Native functional component we'll create by that way. And in the text, what I'm going to do, it will be our header from the source which we have created right now. So now in the header, we're going to have two sections. One, it will take our logo, and the logo will be the simple text we're going to use, and we're going to put we're going to make it text Excel. It will be uppercase, and the text, it will be gray 950, and the font, it will be bold. As you see, we already having our logo, and after having the logo, like, I'm going to make it duplicate because I'm going to put it icon later on. So in our top level of the view, let's put some class name. And before putting that, I'm going to go in the app. I'm going to put a class name. I'm going to give a padding in x-axis 2 to let it give it a little bit room to breathe. And now in our header, I'm going to give a height of 12. And let's give a border B of like, bottom is 1 pixel, and the border B, it will be gray 400. As you see, we're gonna have a border, and by default, all the React Native, it's coming with the flex. It will be the flex in column, so we need to tell when it will be flex row. So now we want to be in a flex row. So you see, it's a flex row. We want it item center, and also we want it justify between. So now as you see, we're having our logo. Now we need to add our icon over here. And to add our icon, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use that React Native hero icons. As you see, you need to copy that command and let's install it in our application. So that's the one we're gonna install. So let it install first. So now our hero icons is already installed. If we just go and see over here, yes, it's already installed. So now let's go pull it up. So import, because to search the icon, we can just go over here because I want to use that cart icon, the shopping cart. That's the icon I want to use. So to use that, it will be shopping cart icon. It will be from the React Native hero icons and the solid one. And instead of this one, what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna use a view, and inside that view I'm gonna use that shopping cart, and the size, it will be 30, and color, it will be black color. As you see, we are getting a very nice error, and this error is coming also again the same way which we have been getting from the Nativewind, because once you're installing something, it's better to in the registers for the some sort of things, but not all the time. Some package you need to restart, so we're gonna restart our terminal again to let that things to work. Okay, let's see if it's working or not. Okay, still installing. Sometimes it will take a bit of time according to your internet speed. My speed is slow, so it's getting a bit of slow. Now as you see, my icon is available. But I want to make it a clickable icon, because whenever I click, it will be on take me to the card. So to make anything in a clickable icon in it will be in React Native, you need to add the touchable opacity, because only then you will be able to create the on press function on over here, and you can go any of the screen there. And you see, now you can click over here. So now we are having that shopping icon. And also what I'm gonna do in the view, I'm gonna put a class name, and I'm gonna make it as relative, because we're gonna have another absolute one. Let's create a view, and it will be text, which gonna be 0. And by the way, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna take it over here. I don't want to have additional view over here. So now what I'm gonna do, make a class name, I'm gonna make it absolute, and it will be from right, it will be 0, and bottom it will be 0. It will be full, height 4, and it will be rounded full. And BG, it will be 900. Now you see it's over there, but we cannot see the text. It's just because we need to give the text a color, and also the text XX, and the font it will be semi-bold. So text we can see, but it's not in the middle, and by default is it in the it's in the flex. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put item center and justify center, and it will be in the middle. So we have our logo, we have our card icon. So now we need to render our product, but it's not a good practice to put everything in the app. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go in the screen, and I'm gonna add our home.tsx rnfe. By the way, if you want to use the snippet, you need to install the extension for it, which is the ES7 React Redux React Native snippet. And also for the Tailwind for the Tailwind CSS, you need to use that Tailwind IntelliSense, which giving a little bit of sort of intelligence before having those CSS class names. So it's better to use those two things to running that application very much well. So from the app, what I'm gonna do, instead of running over header here, I'm gonna take his home, and I'm gonna remove it. And by the way, as you see, it's not actually in a functional component. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create it as a functional component, and instead of as a function, I'm gonna put it as cost. So now it's a functional component, and these two not require over here. And in the home, what I'm gonna do, instead of that, I'm gonna take the header from the component. So now this little bit error is coming. I think it will go. I'm gonna just reload the application, and it will be just fine. So now our shopper, our header portion is done. Okay, header is in touchable opacity. Okay, something wrong, it's not giving me the click. Okay, we're gonna fix it a bit. So now as we have the header, now we're gonna have text, and I'm gonna put lorem20 text over there. And this text, I'm gonna put a class name text sm, and text will be gray 500. And also I'm gonna make it text in the center. So by the way, it's in the flex box. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make items center, you see, in the center item. And this one, I'm gonna make a padding y of 2, so a little bit lower level. So we have one view over here. So that's the product section, and the actual products, it gonna come here. And as you see, we're going to put that product over here. So before putting that product, actually we need to fetch the product, and there is a two-way you can fetch. You can fetch with the Axios, and you can fetch with the build fetch function in the Nativewind, not L2. There is so many ways. This the two actually the most used way. So I'm gonna go through the basic fetch way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a function. It will be a fetch data, and the function, it will be assign function. It will be assign function. And now we're gonna have a response from there, and that response, it will be await, and it will be fetch that data. And what data we want to fetch? We want to fetch data from that API. The API link, it will be in the description below. So we're gonna fetch data from here. So now const data, because we're gonna have a response. So in that response, we want to transfer it into JSON. So now if I want to put console.log, let's go and have that data. You see, nothing is happening. We are not receiving any data because we need to call that one in our application. So we didn't call it yet. And to call that one, what you need to do, I'm gonna use that use effect hook, because we want to call it whenever the application is gonna mount. And now what I'm gonna do, let's call the fetch data. And as you see, our header in everything is coming null. Is because we are awaiting to get the fetch, and also we need to await once we are getting that response. So now as you see, we are receiving all the data available over here. Now there is one thing we need to do. We need to take another things, which will be const products data and set products data. It will be use states hook, and we're gonna keep it inside an array, because as you see, those data is all inside an array. So now instead of that console.log, I'm gonna put that set product data. And also we're gonna put another state, which will be our loading state, because we're gonna show something in the screen when data is not loading, data is loading that time. So it will be set loading. Use state, it will be false. And now when it's gonna fetch the data, it will be set loading true, and after we are having that data, gonna be false. So now we have two states. First of all, what I'm gonna do, this entire scroll view, these total things, I'm gonna take inside a view. And now from here, it's no need to put inside a view actually. Okay, so this is my things over here, or it's better to keep inside a view. Okay, first of all, if there is the loading state is available, I'm gonna put a view, and then I'm gonna put a text. Product data is loading. Okay, and if the data is available, then it need to be go in a view. Okay, so now that will be the actual procedure. So whenever we are having the products, let's render some products, then it will be more understandable. So product data. Now there is a lot of way you can actually do the things, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with, because there is a flat box, so I'm gonna use the simple mapping function we are using for our applications, right? Or not the website. So I'm gonna use the same thing, text, and I think we have a title for it. We're gonna just, as you see, the data is loading is coming, and then the other thing is coming. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just class name text lg, text black, font bold, And so I'm gonna make text center. As you see, product data is loading. Underline. Very nice. And also I'm gonna make in padding top. It's 4. Okay. Product data is loading, and when is loading is done, product is available. So now over here we can actually go things to work. Now we are having one error is in the title, because we are using the TypeScript, so you need to actually get the interface on over here. Interface, it will be item. Now what item we have available over here? As you see, if we go over here, we have one ID, brand, and also we have category, we have description, and then we have the old price, the price, actual price. I think price is in the string. Be careful when you're following through it. And also we have the title. So let's go and pull that everything. First of all, we have ID, which is the number, and brand, string, category, string, and then after category, what we have the description, which is string, and after description we have image, also in string, and then we have is new, which is actually boolean, is true or false, and then we have the old price, which will be string, and the price. Whenever we are gonna calculate that price, we're gonna turn it into the number. I'm gonna show you how you can turn. It's just an example for you also, which you can feel free to follow through. And then also we have the title, which is also a string. Okay. Oops, string, it will be string. So now I think that much all, old price, price, and title. So now that is our item, and what we need to do over here, whenever we are getting the title, we're gonna call it over here. Oops, no, we should not call it over here, as you see, because it's going to be an empty array. And whenever we are gonna map through item, I believe it's gonna be, let's try something. And okay, it will be in this way. So what I'm gonna do, instead of bumping it all together in that way, I'm gonna just make that and collaborate with the item. So now as you see, all the error has been gone, so our item is look just fine. So now we are having that product. So first of all, we don't want to render that one. First, we want to render the image, and we're gonna use that React Native image, and the source, we're gonna give the source, and the URI, it will be the item dot. And as you see, once we keep the item, we are having all the available item over here. So it will be image, and the alter tab, it will be product image, and also you're gonna give a class name for it. Width will be full, and height will be 80. And as you see, I believe we gonna be able to see the product. So the product is available. Product is available, and we put it in this scroll view. Remember, that is the scroll view. So actually we can go and scroll over there, but as you see, there is one error we can see over here, and that is saying that each child in a list should have a unique key prop, and it basically that's the over here which we need to make it right, and it will be item dot id. That's the unique props it will be. You see, as I type that one, that error is gone. So now in that view, what I'm gonna do, put a class name. So it will be MB6 margin bottom. Okay, so and also what we gonna do actually, and the loading sometimes is coming slower. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get that entire function over here. I'm gonna put inside and use effect. So now it's gonna be a load much faster because it's gonna load once one at a time. So now what I'm gonna do is, let's go over here, and now I'm gonna put a border on here, 1 pixel, and border it will be gray, and gray 400. As you see, we're gonna have a border, and we're gonna make a rounded of LG. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in the class name in the tuple label, it will be empty6, margin top from the 6, little bit room for the braid. So now we are having that. And also what I'm gonna do in here, I'm gonna give a padding of 6 to, or not the 6, better to keep in 4. Yeah. Okay, 4 is good. So now we are having that image and padding, everything is looking great. So now, and also let's make that, okay, I'm gonna take another view, and over here, I'm gonna put that item dot title will go over here. Oops, not that. It will be item dot title. Okay, it's throwing an error from where we're having that. Yeah, because it will not be in the view tag. Just be careful. Also, you are typing that one. It will be inside the text, and you see that is good. And now what I'm gonna do, give a class name. The text it will be LG, and the text it will be black, and font it will be. So that is the title, the name of the product. And after having the name, what you want, we want the price actually. So I'm going to put another view tag, and let's put a text, which will be a price, and that price, another text, it will be item dot price. So now as you see, we can see the price. And also what we need to do, we also gonna put another price, another text, it will be item dot old price. Now we're gonna make and things a little bit clear on it. So let's put a class name, it will be text, a small text. Okay, and now in our current price, it will be text black and font semi-bold. So we can see the price actually in a good way. And the other one, the other text, what I'm gonna do, let's put a class name, text the same, I think, text gray 600, and it will be line through. So it's kind of like a cross price, so we can see the price in a very good way. Actually also we can make the price a little bit bigger in a base. Okay, so the price we can see, that's the price, and the previous price is already cut, so we can see it much more better. And in that, so that's the view which we are having the price. And actually we can remove that view, because I was hoping that to be need to be in the flex, but it's okay. And after having that, what I want to do, I'm gonna put a category and another title, it will be item dot category. Now see, we can see the category, and the same way put a class name, text. Okay, I'm gonna give a class name, text will be base, and the text black. So we are having that category, and after having that category in the same form of text, we're gonna have that another one, which will be item dot description. So now we're having the description, and for the description, what I want, a class name text xx, a smaller text, not a smaller text, better to be small text, and font, no need to having the font. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a tracking white, little bit white through. So now that's the portion which covering everything over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just give a class name, gap of 1, just give a little bit room to breathe. What about keep 2? Okay, 2 is better. So now that's our products, and also what we can make actually px2, so it will capture the image. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so now what we want to do actually in that image, we want to add that as a touchable opacity, because once we click the image, I want to create a function which gonna take it to the detail page. And then also after in that view, we want to add a button which gonna be also be in touchable opacity, and it will be add to cart, which gonna be responsible to add our products in the cart. And for that one, okay, I think if we make the padding in x-axis 4, okay, I think that's better. No need to the in y-axis. And also here. So these two, if we put 4, looks good. What about 6? That's perfect. So now over here in the touchable opacity, I'm going to introduce the class name. It will be, let's make the width full and height of 10, and BG, it will be orange, 700. Let's save it. As you see, we can see our, or we can actually put the YOLO. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna make 600. Around it, it will be full. Okay, so now in the text, class name, text LG, and text, it will be white, and font, it will be bold. We can see the text. So now we can do the two things, item center, justify center, to keep it in the center. As you see, it's clickable. So it's coming with little bit a nice sticky portion. So we're gonna give a padding Y of 4. So now it looks much better. And also in the touchable opacity, we're gonna make a margin top of 2 or 3. Okay, 3. So now, as you see, so that will be responsible to get it to our in the cart, and that will be responsible to show us the full view of it. So that much all for our today's to make it in a good way. And also actually we can create a footer, so we got which you're gonna create later on in our application. And by the way, our products is also inside our home product, so it's like all are stacked together, like it will be your homework to actually create another components. Oops, it will be inside the components, and let's give a file which will be products.tsx rnfe. So now that will be your homework to drag all the products data available over here. This product data you need to keep inside the push through in the products.tsx. So if you just do that, because in our next video in that series, what we're gonna do, we're gonna implement in our cart in our next video, card. And also first we're gonna go through our navigation. We're gonna create that navigation, and then we're gonna implement the card. And then because card and navigation, it will be in one video, and then our next video we're gonna implement the payment section. Okay, so hope you can do that, and see you in the next video.